Why Rory McIlroy is skipping the 2025 St. Jude Championship. FedEx Cup Playoffs explained. Here's the shocking truth every golf fan needs to hear. The world's #2 golfer isn't just skipping a major tournament. He's strategically abandoning it. Rory McIlroy's deliberate omission from the 2025 St. Jude Championship field might look like a questionable call at first glance, but holds a deeper strategy that separates great professionals from mere competitors. But here's where it gets clever. While the FedEx Cup Playoffs gear up in Memphis, Tennessee, McIlroy finds himself in the unique position where skipping the first playoff event becomes a calculated advantage rather than a limitation. With a #2 ranking so strong, it defies conventional logic. The Northern Irish golfer can comfortably bypass the 69-player St. Jude field and leap straight to the second round, the BMW Championship near Washington, D.C., without jeopardizing his spot in the Tour Championship. Why? Because sometimes the smartest move isn't to play harder, but to play smarter. While the St. Jude winner pockets $3.6 million, he specifically called out the St. Jude Championship as a skippable event in an interview with The Telegraph, highlighting the one-spot drop in his standings from the 2023 edition, despite his poor showing. This isn't laziness, it's calculated endurance planning. Now here's the kicker that sparks debate. By excluding himself from these early playoff fields, is McIlroy gaming the system or demonstrating elite strategic foresight? While critics might argue the missing tournaments erodes fan excitement or player commitment, supporters counter that last name. Positioning for maximum leverage in prime formats demands less is more thinking. The larger question remains, what would happen if other top players followed suit? Would this redefine the FedEx Cup's competitive balance, or create a two-tiered system where marquee names cherry-pick events? This unprecedented play by McIlroy forces golf enthusiasts to wonder, in an era where professional athletes increasingly prioritize peak performance windows, whether selective absence might become the new hallmark of tournament strategy. Curious to know your take? Do you see McIlroy's move as strategic genius or a missed opportunity? Sound off in the comments below. It's your chance to join the conversation about the future of competitive golf. Rory McIlroy's controversial decision, skipping FedEx Cup playoffs. Is skipping a major playoff event a smart strategy or a slap in the face to fans and tradition? That's the burning question swirling around Rory McIlroy's latest move, and it's got the golf world buzzing. As the 2025 FedEx Cup playoffs approach, anticipation is sky high after a season packed with drama and breakout performances. Scottie Scheffler has continued his reign, clinching 4 titles, including 2 majors, after overcoming a rocky start. Meanwhile, players like Sepp Straka, Ryan Fox, Brian Campbell, and Ben Griffin have each notched up 2 wins, setting the stage for a star-studded showdown at the upcoming FedEx St. Jude Championship. But here's where it gets controversial. Rory McIlroy, one of the sport's biggest names, has chosen to sit out the first playoff event, and fans are not holding back their disappointment. The news broke via Underdog Golf on X, formerly Twitter, confirming that McIlroy will be absent from the TPC Southwind lineup. Golf journalist Dan Rappaport weighed in, speculating that McIlroy's decision could signal a new trend under the revamped Tour Championship format. He pointed out, Rory knows he's making it to East Lake no matter what, and doesn't need to accumulate points in playoffs, because it wipes clean before East Lake. It's hot as hell in Memphis. He'll be fresh in Baltimore. And this is the part most people miss. The PGA Tour has overhauled the Tour Championship format for 2025. Unlike previous years, the first playoff events no longer impact a player's standing at the Tour Championship. The event itself has shifted to a traditional 72-hole stroke play, eliminating the controversial rank-based starting stroke advantage. Now, every competitor begins the tournament at even par, leveling the playing field. McIlroy had already hinted at a lighter PGA Tour schedule for 2025, prioritizing rest and recovery. While stars like Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, and Justin Thomas battle the sweltering Memphis heat, McIlroy will be enjoying cooler temperatures at home, preparing to return to the US refreshed for the next stage. But here's where the debate heats up. While McIlroy's decision might make sense strategically, many fans see it as a letdown. Under Rappaport's tweet, social media erupted with criticism, with one fan bluntly calling it a loser move and emphasizing, it's the playoffs. The presence of so many top-ranked players at the event underscores its importance, making McIlroy's absence even more glaring. This isn't the first time he's faced backlash for skipping a marquee tournament. Earlier this year, fans were similarly disappointed when he opted out of the Memorial Tournament. Some critics even turned their frustration toward the event organizers, questioning the legitimacy of a playoff system that allows top players to skip crucial rounds without consequence. One comment read, "What kind of fast playoffs allows them to skip? In most sports, missing a playoff game would mean automatic elimination, but the FedEx Cup's current structure doesn't enforce such rules, at least not yet." Others chimed in with, "Example A, why they need to fix the playoffs," and "Golf playoffs are just dumb." This new playoff format, introduced by outgoing Commissioner Jay Monahan, is now under intense scrutiny. Will Brian Rollap and his team rethink the system for 2026 to prevent similar controversies? Or is this just the beginning of a new era where strategy trumps tradition? So, what do you think? Is McIlroy making a smart, calculated move, or is he letting down the fans and the spirit of competition? Should the PGA Tour enforce stricter rules for playoff participation, or is player autonomy more important? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's hear your take on this hot-button issue. Rory McIlroy skips first FedEx Cup playoff event. What this means for his 2025 PGA Tour season. Hold on to your hats, golf fans. Rory McIlroy, the reigning Masters champion, is shaking things up and skipping the first event of the FedEx Cup Playoffs next week. This decision has sparked a buzz, and for good reason. It's a bold move, and it's got everyone talking. McIlroy, who has hinted at scaling back his tournament appearances over the past year, won't be teeing off at the FedEx St. Jude Championship in Memphis. This isn't entirely unexpected, as he's already sat out 3 signature events this year, including the prestigious Memorial Tournament hosted by the legendary Jack Nicklaus. You can read more about that here. https://www.si.com/Jack-Nicklaus surprised Rory McIlroy skip Memorial Tournament. The official entry list was released on Friday, and McIlroy's name was notably absent. The PGA Tour hasn't yet unveiled the complete field of players, but the top 70 players in the FedEx Cup standings after this weekend's BMW Championship will qualify. But here's where it gets controversial. Even though McIlroy is skipping the event, there won't be an alternate player added to the $20 million tournament. This is because he's currently sitting pretty in second place in the FedEx Cup standings, just behind Scottie Scheffler. His high ranking means he's practically guaranteed a spot in the following week's BMW Championship, which features the top 50 players, and he'll almost certainly make it to the Tour Championship in Atlanta 2 weeks later. This isn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. McIlroy himself hinted at this possibility in an interview with The Telegraph late last year. You can find the interview here, www.telegraph.co/golf/2024/11/0. Rory McIlroy to cut schedule PGA Tour swing. PGA Tour. You can find the interview here, www.telegraph.co/golf/2024/11/07/Rory McIlroy to cut schedule PGA Tour swing tweaks. He mentioned that he might skip some tournaments he played this year, specifically mentioning the Cognizant in Palm Beach Gardens, the Valero Texas Open in San Antonio, and the RBC Heritage at Hilton Head. He also stated he would likely skip the first playoff event in Memphis, citing his poor performance there the previous year. And this is the part most people miss. McIlroy did, in fact, skip all those tournaments, as well as the season-opening Century. He's also added the Houston Open to his 2025 schedule. Looking ahead, McIlroy has a packed full schedule, after the Tour Championship. He's slated to play in the DP World Tour's Irish Open, the BMW PGA Championship, the Ryder Cup, the India Championship, and the season-ending events in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. He's also planning to compete in the Australian Open. With 3,444 FedEx points, McIlroy could potentially drop a few spots in the standings. The playoff events offer a significant points boost, with 4 times the regular points available, and a whopping 2,000 points awarded to the winner. Someone currently ranked as low as 16th could leapfrog him with a victory next week. However, with 3 victories already under his belt this year, McIlroy is still in line for a substantial bonus after the BMW Championship. This is part of the restructuring of the bonus pool. Following the Wyndham Championship, McIlroy is set to receive a cool $10 million for finishing second in both the FedEx standings and the Comcast Business Bonus Pool. What do you think about McIlroy's decision? Is it a smart move to prioritize his schedule and focus on the bigger events? Or do you think he should be playing in every tournament he can? Do you think this is a sign of things to come for other top players? Share your thoughts in the comments below.